Hi, Amreen Fatima. Good morning. A synopsis report on. Fine. At this moment, we are presenting synopsis. However, finally, the title will be this: a study on financial derivatives. You have written. Simply, you can write futures and options, right? Financial derivatives means what derivatives? Interest rate derivatives or currency derivatives. Simply write that. You are doing futures and options. So both means it's a very big thing. Okay. In number format you are putting dash is a hall ticket number. And all this is capital. I have suggested for the other girls also. Do not use so much of capital letters. Follow the format which already sent to you, the cover page format. This page is not required. Synopsis format, this is not required. Don't put it. Okay, you have contents page separately. That right now you need not show us. I'm not reading this introduction. Need and importance, no colons. This is need of the study. Simply write need of the study here. No colons. An individual or firm may have to face a large amount of risk in the international markets. Individual also, okay. Hence, it becomes necessary to look for other sources whereby this need can be met. Different types of derivatives have really proved to be given a sharp focus as of late. Achha? Different types of derivatives have come into existence to cater the needs of variety of individuals in the global markets. Variety of individuals, sir. What do you mean by this variety of individuals? A few prominent ones, once being varied categories, different types of derivatives suitable for various trades and firms. Trades. This study of derivatives is at most important in recent days. Please establish. Need is not very clear. Need further study you have to write anyway title. But okay, don't put bulleted list in the need. Only objectives, limitations you can put bulleted list, not variety bullets, only normal bullets like this. But here that is not required. No list at all in the need, no points. They help to in discovery of future as well as current prices. The current prices also discovered. They catalyze entrepreneurial activity. They increase savings and investments in the long run. We are talking about the features here, I think. Next, coming to the objectives of the study. S must be capital letter. S must be capital letter. Objectives of the study. Again, bullets, you have different format, you have used it. Use this format. Okay. Bullets format must be this one. Round bullets. It's standardized one for the projects. To calculate, there is first one to study. First thing should be to study. Never ever objective can be to calculate. Calculator can do it. Your objective is not to calculate. To measure, you write. To measure the risk and return of investment, futures investment in options. Futures and investment in options. Okay. To identify market trend and price movements based upon the open interest changes. Good. Open interest changes. You know the open interest changes. Nice. To hedge. Here you have written full stop. To hedge the most profitable portfolio. To hedge the most profitable portfolio. Now, why? Which portfolio? To analyze the derivatives market in India. That's a theoretical objective. You can put it in the first one. Analyze the market in India. Derivatives, so many are there, and market in India is a big one. So this is a very vague objective. Better you remove it. To analyze operations of futures and options. Operations we are not talking about. Theoretical objectives can be only one. To study the concept of derivatives. So one theoretical objective is clear, wherein you will cover all that. Derivative market in India, operations of futures, options, to study the concept. Okay. derivative and derivative trading. Fine. In India is anyway you can talk about that in there. So these things you can remove, analyze operations, etc. Instead of calculate, put measure. It to identify to identify should be there. Some grammatical errors you can correct it with the help of your friends. So here you are not telling future, which futures you are talking. Financial futures, you have interest rate futures, currency futures, stock futures, isn't it? So which futures you are taking, and few options also. Which options you are taking? What is the benchmark, etc. So you have to compare also. Say compare scope of study. Again, scope, you should never use the bulleted list. Don't put a bulleted list here, in the scope. There should be no bullets. Directly, the scope of the study is limited to. Never say scope is limited. It is opposite. Scope is extended to. The focus of the study is derivatives with a special reference to Indian Stock Exchange, National Stock Exchange, and the National Stock Exchange has been taken as a representative sample of the study. So National Stock Exchange is a sample. You take two futures, two options. Otherwise, just take only futures or only options. Name them: stock futures, interest rate futures, or currency futures, or other futures. The study includes futures and options. It's not clear. Please make it very clear. My analysis, my, I, you, them should not be used. First person tone, second person tone should not be used. Third person tone can be used. My analysis part is limited to selecting. Limited word is should be used in the limitations. Selecting investment option. Investment option. What do you mean by investment option? It means that whether we have to invest cash market or derivatives market. If you need, you will go for it now. It's not very clear, ma. I have taken only two different organizations to analyze and interpret that. Why you require two different organizations? You require two, you said financial derivatives, ma. Never use ambiguous language. Based upon two criteria only. What are the two criteria? Open interest is evaluated for analyzing the trend of market. It's very good. This is last objective is good, but what are the two criteria? You should write. This is nice. Two criteria only. Only. Such things should be there. But they should be in the limitations. This only should be there in the limitations. The study is extended to two different organizations. Study extended to futures. Study extended to options. The study extended to these options. The study extended to three options. This study extended to four options, four futures. The study also compares options and futures. The study considers the option prices for 2 years. This 2 years, the study compares the future prices for this 2 years. Using this technique or that technique, it considers risk measurement, risk return. You have written in the objectives now. So those things you can again incorporate. Objectives, scope shall be in tandem. Tandem. What you are saying, they should be matching. Scope, research methodology, objective should be in matching. Data is a systematic procedure. Data is not a procedure, ma. So remove this. I have already given the instructions about capital casing, small casing, removing this colons for others. Please check that. This don't give this list, primary data, secondary data, don't list it. In two principal sources. We don't have primary data, na? You have not written any primary data. You don't have maybe primary data. You never went anybody and asked anybody. Mostly you are depending on secondary data. So why you are writing primary data? If you are writing primary data, you should write what is that? Secondary data. Why you are writing this heading at all? Just put it in the sentence. Now, the data is predominantly secondary in nature, which is required. The data required for the study is futures prices. Okay, which company future prices? Stock futures, index futures, or interest rate futures, cash. This commodity futures, this is financial futures, so stock futures, write that interest rate futures, time period also you have to mention. What are the names of those financial futures or options? Secondly, data was collected from already published sources as such as NSC websites. NSC websites, website, internal records. Whose internal records, ma? Whose internal records? They are not given to you, na? Reference from textbooks and journal relating to derivatives. The data will not be collected. Actually, you can collect only the information. Data will not be there in the textbooks or journals. The data collection sources, why collection? Data sources, collection of required data, again collection you have written. No? Streamline the language. Language should be free flowing without any grammatical error. A, B listing, the 1, 2 listing, don't write these things, okay na? Put it in a paragraph form like I have already suggested to few students and what I have mentioned in the video. Follow the video. A reference of the textbook, journal, rating, Indian stock market system and financial derivative. Journal is you are collecting information. Data is not there. Okay, references also, all that is only information. Description of method. Description of method is not correct. The following are the steps involved in the study. Selection of the script. Now you are selling something script. Why you are selecting the script? You are selecting the options and future, right? Script means stock you are selecting. Axis and HDFC Bank. The lot is 200 and 500. Who's 200? Who's 500? Respectively, full stop. The lot is or lot size. Profitability position of the futures buyers and sellers are also option holders and options writers is studied. Okay, now you are selling something. So, profitability position of the buyers and sellers of the futures and options is studied. So, that you can include here in the objectives. Where are the objectives? Here you can write that to study the profitability position of the buyers and sellers in futures and options of HDFC in Axis for during this period. Okay, that is what we can say tandem in the order. So there should be a connection. Okay, Axis is not Scripma, Axis Bank is there maybe. Write fully that. What is why the gap is here? Data collection. Never write a heading collection. Data sources of data. Axis again. Axis. What is this Axis? Axis is not a script. Maybe some other name will come. At the Axis there may be some other script. Maybe you are referring to Axis Bank. So you can say banking. So both options and futures you are studying for Axis and HDFC collected from Economic Times. Why Economic Times? You are already saying NSC website and internet. Internet is not correct. Never say internet. From internet, which website? NSC website. Directly you say that. The data consists of January. Which January? 70. You are writing here. Don't write in the capital letters. Don't write in the short forms like Jan, Feb. Write in full. Contract and period of data collection. Period of data collection is not correct, ma. Data, period of data or prices. Don't say data. Price data. Say price data or future price data, option price data. What is data? We have to clearly say. Data can be anything. It can be banana, it can be apple, it can be sugar, it can be quintals, bales. So what is the data? Price data of the HDFC and Axis futures or options. So that has to be made clear. Why 17, ma? Take it latest period. 17 already thousands of the studies have been done. Everything is known. So you cannot find out anything different from that. So latest data 2022. Take this year. Okay? Fine? Analysis. Don't use colons and all this analysis. Analytical methods. The heading also strange. The analysis consists of tabulation. Okay, techniques you are writing. Tabulation of data. Tabulation of, again you are saying data. Nama. Data should not. Tabulation of data is not that we are writing it. It's already default. Everybody will do data in a tabulated form. It's not correct. assessing the profitability positions of the future buyers and sellers, also option holder and option writer, representing the data with graphs and making the interpretation of using the data. Representing data, don't use the word data, profitability, risk in the futures, risk in the options, right? That there are, as you are saying, Axis and HDFC Bank, they are not commodity options or futures. They are not interest rate options or futures. They are not currency options or futures. They are stock options and futures. So in the title itself you can write stock options and futures with reference to Axis and HDFC Bank. Here only you can write it. A study on futures and options of Axis and HDFC Bank, Axis Bank and HDFC Bank. Same thing, you can put it in the objectives also. Why you are selecting the banking stock? You don't know. So banking, write one about banking. Banking industry is the backbone of the India, and it has been very steadily moving forward. So there is a need to study how banking stocks and how banking derivatives are leading to a well strengthened, disciplined market. So like that you can write need. Okay. Next, the same thing you can write here. The banking, the study, the future and options, payoffs and price profitability with reference to the stock options, HDFC Bank and Axis Bank's futures and options during the period of this time 2021 and 22. Whatever it may be, you can select that. Make it clear which period, which contracts you are studying. Very, very clear. That has to be clear. Otherwise, next chapter you can never do it. Na? So this, if you can do it, na, your project work, we can give green signal. So this is not really the project. This is only the only guidelines of the project, directions of the project. So it should be clear to you first. Hedge, you are writing hedge. So hedging, you have to say you are using some tool. Hedge ratio is used. Hedge. So that in the research methodology you can write. In the analysis, hedging, you are not using it here. Write hedging. Write use. For options you have to use. For option holder, option writer, you should know binomial option pricing model, Black-Scholes-Mertens model. Okay, there are many models. So you have to use that analysis. Profitability, risk and return, simple risk and return also you can calculate if you don't want to use models or actual the things. Again, capital casing. The following are the limitations of the study. The script chosen for analysis, India Bulls. You have chosen Axis Bank and HDFC Bank. Don't say India Bulls. You are saying 2017 there. Now March 2019. Why? Both are wrong. Again you are writing 2021. Latest you have to take. Completely restricted to the India Bulls. India Bulls is only giving you certificate. Don't mention India Bulls. It's not required. India Bulls script you are not studying. You say Axis and HDFC here. Here you are saying India Bulls. Axis and HDFC, you put it in the title, you put it in the objectives, you put it in the methodology, you will put it in the scope, you will put it in the limitations also. The limitation, the futures, the study is restricted to only derivatives. The study is confined to only two derivatives, futures and financial derivatives, futures and options. The study is confined to only futures and options. The study is restricted to only one sector, that is banking sector. You are not choosing any other stock. Why? You have to tell in the needs. I already told how to write the need relating to the banking in the beginning. Now in the limitations, the study is confined to only two futures and options. They are what is that? Axis Bank and HDFC Bank's futures and options. The study is restricted to only this period, from time to time. Okay, the study uses only these methods. Other components of derivatives. Make it very clear. If you are not understanding anything, please remove it. So that is fine. Bye, ma. All the best. Remaining things at this moment I am not seeing. Literature review, bibliography, you have to do it as per the format, as per the OU format. Already sent you, na? In the beginning only we have sent you, in the last year only, Harvard style. Okay? Thank you. Bye. All the best.